Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Petroleum from Scratch. I am Jay Star and this is Petroleum Data Analytics and Machine Learning playlist. So in our last video, we discussed about array indexing, how to assess a single element from a NumPy array using array index. So in this video, we are going to discuss how to assess multiple elements from a NumPy array, either by using the square brackets or by using array slicing. So array slicing will be, we are going to discuss these two topics here. So let us start our discussion. First of all, our first step will be importing our NumPy library as NP. And after that, I'm going to create a new array for our discussion, np.array. So this is our NumPy array. Now I want to assess the elements present at the first index, second index, and my last index. So one method to assess multiple elements for a given index is like here I said that I want to assess my first index, third index, and my last index. So that can be done by using double square brackets. Here you can see I'm using double square brackets. Like in indexing, I was using single square bracket, but here I'm going to use double square bracket for assessing multiple elements. So I want my element at first index, my fourth index, and my last index. That will be equal to -1 or whatever the number of elements present in here. So here you can see that I am able to assess my first element, my fourth element, and my last element. So this is the method for assessing multiple elements by using square brackets. Now imagine you have an array of length 10,000. You have an array that is consisting of 10,000 elements, and you want to assess the elements from index number 501 to 1000. So you are not going to write indexes from 500, 500 to till 1000 using square bracket. In that case, array slicing comes into picture. And the syntax for array slicing, how to slice an array from, how to slice a subset of array from the large superset. The syntax for that is this. Just write the name of the array, square bracket, write the starting index, this index from which you want to start your array, the stopping index, and the step size, that okay, what the step size you want to have in your sliced array. If you don't pass this starting index, it will automatically consider your starting index as 0. And if you don't pass the ending if you don't pass the stopping, then it will automatically go to the last of your index. And if you don't pass the step size, then it will take 1. We will see how it will work. So like I am writing AR. So I just want my uh, elements from 0 to 4th. So I can write 0 and 4, 0 and 5. Why I'm writing 5? Here you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the starting index number will be included in your slice, but the ending index number will not be included in your slice. So I wanted to have elements from 0th index to my 4th index. So I have to write 0 colon 5, because fifth will not be taken. And here you can see I haven't given a step size, so it is automatically taking in step size as 1. Now, if I want my alternate, if I want alternate elements from this array, then what I have to do, I just need to remain the starting and stopping as empty and just give the step size as 2. So here you can see that I am getting alternate elements from my array. I'm getting 12, then I'm getting 45, then I'm getting 67, then I'm getting 65, then I'm getting PFS. So in this way, you can get the alternate elements from your index. So after that, one more thing, if I do not pass my starting point, if I just pass my stopping point, let us say I'm passing my stopping point 6, so it will give me up to fifth index. So it will start from 0 and go up to fifth. And if I am going to mention my starting point as 6 and I'm not mentioning my ending point, then it will start from my sixth index and go to the last. Here you can see. So in this way, you can slice an array from a superset of array. So this was one method. Now, how you can use this? if you want to reverse your array, so my array is this and I want a new array that is my reverse array. So how that can be done? Uh, Again, it is very simple. My starting point here will be -1, my last index. My ending point will be here 0, or let us say 0, because I want to come from my last point to my first point. I want to reverse my array. So my starting point will be my starting point will be -1, my stopping point will be 0, and my step size will be -1, because we are moving in backward direction. So sorry, yeah, if I write 1, because there is a direction conflict, that why we are getting nothing in this array, because my direction is showing that I want to come from -1 to 0, but I am giving my step size as 1. So that is not possible. When I write -1 here, you can see that my array has been reversed by using this thing. So in this way, you can also reverse your array. Or other thing is that you don't even need to pass 0. Just write the starting point as -1 and give the direction as -1. And again, if you want your reverse array in alternate fashion, like I want alternate elements in my reverse array, then again you have to write -2 as your step size. So in this way, you can see that you are getting alternate elements from this reversed array. So yeah, here you can do multiple things by using permutation and combination. You can do multiple things. You just create an artificial array, just create an synthetic array, and try to practice as much as you can, as much as possible. Now, what is the use of this slicing in a petroleum engineering? Consider you have a linear reservoir, you have a linear type of reservoir, and you have created grids for your linear reservoir for different properties of reservoir. So in that, consider I am having a grid for my permeability of my linear reservoir. My reservoir is consisting of, let us say, 6 grids. So permeability in Darcy, we are considering in Darcy. So there is my linear reservoir. I have divided that reservoir into 6 grids. So we divide our reservoirs into grids because there is a heterogeneity present in reservoir. So we cannot just say that, okay, my whole reservoir is of uh, 20 millidarcy. So we need to divide our reservoir into grids for getting good simulation of our reservoir. So I have divided my whole linear reservoir into 6 grids, and the different grids area is going to have different permeability. So I'm going to store those different permeabilities in my NumPy arrays termed as permeability. So, okay, first grid, let us say, is going to have 10 Darcy, second 12 Darcy, 23 Darcy, 12 Darcy, and again 5 Darcy, and 7 Darcy. So these are the value of my permeability at my different grid points in my reservoir. In a similar way, you can also have value for del P by del L. Actually, I'm trying to show you how you can use this slicing method in reservoir engineering or reservoir simulation. So you have your linear reservoir with the 6 grids, uh, for which you know the value of permeability. You also know the value of del P by del L for all these 6 grids. Let us say I'm just typing some random values so that you can get a rough idea how we can use. Now I have value for del P by del L. I have value for permeability. Let us suppose I also have value for my cross-sectional area, and I also have value for my viscosity of oil. So now by using array slicing, leave for once, leave array slicing for once. Now I want to know what is my flow rate of oil from my second grid, third grid, and fourth grid. I don't need to know my volume of oil, flow rate of oil from first grid and fifth grid and sixth grid. I just need to have flow rate from second, third, and fourth grid. In that case, array slicing can be used. How that can be used? Let us say my array that is going to give me flow rates from second to fourth grid is Q2 to 4. And by applying my Darcy law, simple Darcy law, and array slicing, I can get to know the flow rate from my second grid, third grid, and fourth grid. Simply QA del P by del L. Again, del P is again an array. In that I need from my first point to first grid to third grid and divide by viscosity. So whenever I'm going to call Q24, here you can see you can calculate the flow rate from your second grid, third grid, and fourth grid. So in this way, by array slicing, you can take advantage of this array slicing in reservoir simulation when you are working on grids, when you are working on a heterogeneity of a reservoir. So in those cases, array slicing can be used. Here I have discussed about one-dimensional array. That's why I have taken my reservoir as a linear reservoir. But when we are going to talk about two-dimensional array or matrices, in that scenario, you can consider your reservoir as a 2D shaped area, and different different for different grids, you can assign different values of reservoir property, different values for permeability, different values of porosity, so you can get a greater idea about your reservoir. So guys, that's it for this video. In our next video, we are going to discuss about array slicing and indexing in higher dimensional arrays, in 2D arrays or 3D arrays. So I hope you like the video. So please subscribe to the channel, and happy learning. Bye bye. Take care.